I'm going to read an excerpt from my novel Yams Do Not Exist. This part is called Assignation on Armistice. It's Remembrance Day for people who don't know. Gemma brought the truck to a stop and tilted her head forward with Dake-Dick glee. Farinata looked through the windshield and saw hundreds of Canada geese on the frozen lake. Yes, the common image of our vast nation, a guppy mouth under the ice, going unheard. Otherwise, there was no symbolism in the setting, not even when Gemma seized his lined glove with her mitt. Such well-protected finger play was born of a mild chagrin. She had won the post he had wanted at an adult learning center on the other side of the lake, and he had realized this when he had turned up to withdraw from a painting course. His particulars, which he had seen on the front desk on a happier day, had been replaced by her kindly face, bearing the notice in bold upper caps that the situation had been filled. This sorrow came not single-spined, as for personal reasons his dactylographic daydreams were also to be postponed. She had performed the necessary operation and had promised him reimbursement. Oh, what manner of compensation for such an outcome, leaving him to fold up his tiny grudge and dwell upon its ideal conditions for wet nursing. Then he had heard the bittersweet bellow that piggybacked the letters of his name. He had stopped. One hand had landed gently on his right shoulder, but the other arm had caught him as he spun around, and they had fallen into a fleeting example of the forbidden dance, out of which they did not emerge wholly unenlightened. Impulsively she had held him, saying he looked so down in the mouth she needed to know if he was okay. With a quaver in his voice he had spoken so passionately of painting with the tip of his finger that she had redoubled the awkwardness of her embrace, as if carefully burping the assignation out of him. Since that day he had stalled as best he could, hoping that Trish would find a way to rescue him from this heat-seeking drone. Ah, no, that was not fair. Gemma was indeed kindly with compelling eyes, but not a word of a lie. She would absorb him in no time flat. He could not help but think of the brain-eating amoeba he had heard about on the news, the one that had caused him to drop his fork right into his rashers. If a thing like that could prosper when the chlorine levels were low enough, what miscreants could slurp us up at a moment's notice? One more fatal embrace and he would be immobilized. Another source of anxiety was the noble lie dangling between them, that quarrelsome iota that might come out in the middle of a tender scene, causing her to get puffed up and him to get puffed off. The wily old woman knew, because she had taken his application for the painting class and she had placed his particulars upon the desk. It would only take an inebriated FYI, say at a holiday function over dubious punch, that Loverboy was in reality coveting her position rather than admiring her fair behind, and that's how things worked in these dark times. To sidestep catastrophe, they would have to drive the old woman to the lake and then drop her through one of the holes in the ice. And really, how would that look?